We are here pregame before tonight's Springford girls Norristown basketball game, and a chance to catch up with Coach McDaniel. Coach, great to see you. Usually we have you on before the season. It's been a wild, crazy season so far. You know, many home games this year, but great to see you. And would you catch up our viewers on your season and the Nike Invitational out in Phoenix?
Oh, sure. First of all, we have, I think, 4 games after tonight left at home. So you're right. That part has gone fast. With only 7 or 8, that's due to our schedule. But season's gotten off to a good start. We've been, there's some unfortunate situations that happened. We've lost Abby Goodrich, our all-league player, right out of the gate. And Mac Maloney had surgery on her shoulder. And so we had that right away. But, you know, as we tell everybody, some people say, well, you're really shorthanded. No, we're a full team. Right. So whatever we have, that's our full team. And the girls have really responded with some great practices and responding in the games, you know, playing hard in the competition. That's great. The Nike was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. We had 4 games that were tremendous that could have gone either way.
Right.
We won 1 in triple overtime, another one by 1, and they had the last shot, and Lucy Olson got a tip on a block on a shot. We lost another one by 4 and another one by 8. The players out there, you know, every team had minimum three Division I players. We're not in that category right now. We saw a guard that's going to Florida we played against. She's 63s away from the national record. She's legit big-time player. So we had a great time. We did some bonding, a great bonding trip, and we did some cultural awareness type trips that we like to do within a trip. So it was just a great time, you know. And then we came back for the holidays and played Pottsgrove over the holidays, and now here we are, you know, with Norristown. We got 3 games a week the rest of the way, Coach. 3 games.
Very good. Well, speaking of 3 games the rest of the way, I know you have your sights set on the Pioneer Athletic Conference playoffs. It's going to be the second year of the Pac-6 playoffs, so to speak. And I always get a lot of questions from people in the community about how does it work, tiebreakers, how does it all set up? Maybe you could run us through what we're looking at.
Sure, and we are excited because that's the first goal on our list of postseason that we want to accomplish. The Final 6 works with the 2 division winners, the one Liberty and Frontier. Those winners get a bye. Okay. And that record, that championship is determined by your division record. Okay. How you do in your division. And then the next team in each division, the second place, they're automatically in as well. Okay. But you're using your overall record to determine who's the 3rd and who's the 4th seed there. And then there's the 2 other teams are seed 5 and 6. They're wild card teams coming from either division. You could have 2 from one or 1 from each. And it'll go 3 against 6, 4 against 5, and then, you know, and it matches up 1 against the winner of 4-5 and right. 2 against the winner of 3-6. Yes. And the nice thing is, it's all here at Springford. The boys start February 6th for the quarterfinals. The girls are February 7th. The boys semis are the 8th. The girls semis are the 9th. The boys championship game is the 12th, and the girls championship game is the 13th. And for 1 year, we finally missed Valentine's Day, not playing on Valentine's Day.
Well, that's great, Coach, for those people familiar, kind of like the NFL playoffs with the wild card and everything. Very similar situation, and look forward to that and wish you good luck. And then finally tonight with Coach for your game against Norristown, what are some things we can look for, maybe some goals or some things you and your coaching staff and team really emphasizing for tonight's game?
Well, one thing we emphasize every day, though it sounds incremental, every player has to get better by 1%. And our view of that is, with 24 players, 25 players, if we all get better by 1%, our team got better by 25%.
Absolutely.
So that's our definite goal for tonight, always a main goal, and that's in practice as well. We're going to be running a couple new things defensively tonight. Okay. That we want to get some work on the floor in the game situation. And offensively, we are working on that execution on our 5-out offense. Now, we anticipate they're going to play some zone tonight or a lot of zone. So we're working on with certain players being in the flash tonight. So we're definitely working on some things as we move along here to get ready for Phoenixville Thursday, and then we go out to Cumberland Valley on Saturday and so on.
A big week, and Coach, thank you so much for joining us. Great to see you. Good luck, and we'll be right back with some more pregame talk after this here on RCTV.
Hi, I'm Peter, and there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in! Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ache than never. To learn more, visit savethefood.com.
Good evening and welcome to Springford Ram County Television. I'm Ashley Hudak here with Dave Caldwell tonight for the Springford Rams versus the Norristown Eagles. And Dave, what's the look for tonight?
Well, an interesting game. Springford is playing great basketball. They're 8-2. They have won 4 in a row. They have gone 6-0 in the Pioneer Athletic Conference. They would like to keep it going against Norristown tonight. They beat Norristown in the first encounter back in December. A convincing win. I know Coach McDaniel and staff would like to keep it rocking and rolling and keep that undefeated Pioneer Athletic Conference record intact and moving forward towards the possible conference playoffs.
Well, you have it here, and we will see you back off of the tip-off. Good evening and welcome to RCTV's broadcast. We have the Springford Rams playing and the Norristown Eagles playing. I'm Ashley Hudak here with Dave Caldwell tonight. And let's get to it with our starting lineups.
All right, very good. We're going to start off with the visiting Norristown Eagles, as they are 1-10 overall and 1-6 in the Pioneer Athletic Conference. Leading off, number 10, Emily Schools, their leading scorer. She averages about 8 points a game. Next is number 11, Tamara Wright. Number 22, Ashley Schools. Number 24, Dominic Mansfield. And then their second leading scorer, a senior, number 40, Brooke Heim.
And for our Springford starters, who are 8-2 in the pack and 6-0, we have number 3, Lucy Olson, a sophomore. We have number 11, Emily Tiffman, also a sophomore. We have number 13, Gabs Alessandroni, a junior. We have number 30, Skylar Sullivan, a junior. And we also have number 40, Cassie Marty, a senior. Looks like it's going to be a good game tonight.
Be an interesting matchup, as Springford, as we mentioned in the opening, is playing great basketball. Just recently came out, Ashley, with the district rankings, and Springford is currently number 4 in the District 1 power rankings. So I know that's a big deal, because the higher seed you get, the more home games you get for district play. And also they are ranked number 7 in the state by the Max Preps website at the 6A division. So Springford off to a great start here, 8-2, and looking forward to keep the ball rolling here in the Pioneer Athletic Conference. Like to get another W and sweep the season series here from the Norristown Eagles.
Exactly. They're on a 3-0 winning streak right now, and hopefully it can continue and make it a 4-0 win streak.
Well, while we got a little break in the action, Ashley, I'd like to congratulate you on, I saw in the Pottstown Mercury today, you committed to York College for soccer, so congratulations. That's got to be pretty cool, pretty exciting for you.
Thank you so much. I am definitely very excited, and I look forward to playing soccer at York.
Well, good for you, and here we go.
And for the tip-off, we've got Emily Tiffin and Dominique Mansfield. Springford starts off quick. Cassie Marty with the shot and nails it too.
Jumper is good for Cassie Marty.
Cassie doesn't waste any time.
No,
Almost a steal.
Almost. Springford already starting out in their high press.
Springford likes to press, likes to create havoc and cause turnovers and get their fast break and high octane offense moving along early.
Playing good defense as Norristown's trying to swing the ball around the arc. Not reaching.
They had a chance to visit with Coach McDaniel before the game, and he said some of the things they were going to do tonight or wanted to work on, they were going to try some new defenses. He wouldn't share with what those defenses were, but you know that the girls are trying to try some new defenses and some things that they want to work on and polish up, getting ready for the second half of the season and postseason play.
Most certainly, you want to get those things out and distinguish the way in the beginning of the season, so in the end you can come out with those wins. Lucy Olson with the jumper and makes that.
Lucy Olson, their leading scorer, has been the leading scorer in all but one game this year, and she also in the books here early in the first minute and 15 seconds of play.
30-second timeout here called by Norristown. Springford just giving them a high press, run for their money, and just making sure their presence is known on the court. They start out with their high press after Cassie Marty scored that right inside the 3 jumper, and for a 2 for the Rams starting in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah, Coach Fisher from Norristown wants to make sure that he wants to try to keep this game in hand as long as possible. He knows about the firepower of Springford. He knows how good they are, and so an early timeout, they get tied up, they keep possession of the basketball. Smart play by Coach Fisher trying to
Yep. Norristown trying to come out with a press break with the long ball. Cassie Marty almost intercepting it. Good defense by the Rams, sliding their feet, and Norristown keeping it outside the 3-point line. Rebound by Gabs Alessandroni.
You can also tell, Ashley, that the girls really moving their feet, not using their hands, and that's been a point of emphasis with the coaching staff about playing good defense, not getting in foul trouble early, which sometimes can be a problem of a team that likes to press and play full court, a pressure-type team. So moving their feet, really, really important for future success of this group.
That's what basketball is. You slide, you move your feet, and you're just trying to get the ball in the bucket.
Taking a look at the junior Gabs Alessandroni, 5'9" junior guard. Coach McDaniel said because of the injuries and illness that they're playing 5 guards tonight as a starting lineup. He's going with, instead of Alyssa Yon is out sick, or Yuhan, I mean, Olivia Olson out hurt with ankle, and we all know that Abby Goodrich is unfortunately out for the season with some injuries, or with the ACL injury. She's having surgery next week, she told me before the game.
Lucy Olson with the 3 and sinks it. Springford with their high press and a long ball. Skylar Sullivan reads it and gets the interception.
Springford out to a quick 8-0 lead and looking for more.
Oh yeah. Tiffin when they're up and under. Very nice shot.
Beautiful up and under move by Emily Tiffin, and Alessandroni steals, and they're back on the offensive.
Lucy Olson gets the rebound and puts it up for another 2.
Lucy Olson already with 7 points, and we're not even 3 minutes into this first quarter. There's a steal.
Norristown almost intercepted the bounce pass there.
Tatiana Evans.
Ball's going to be inbound from the Springford Rams. After a substitution was made, number 1, Saya Evans for the Norristown Eagles.
Wow.
Lucy Olson with another 3.
Lucy Olson with 10 points already in double digits. We played 3 minutes. She's averaging 15.8 points a game. Great start for Lucy, super sophomore. Doing great work for the Lady Rams.
She is. That's just Springford basketball right there. Everybody working hard, making each other look good. Cassie Marty inbounding the ball to Lucy Olson. A nice pump fake and drive there for Lucy Olson with another 2.
Beautiful ball movement, finding Lucy in the middle of the zone.
It is. Pass up and over Springford's heads. Skylar Sullivan with the block.
Nice block by Skylar Sullivan as she kept her feet and got her hands up, got a block. You know, it's so important for high school players not to get in foul trouble.
It is.
You know, in high school you only get 5 fouls, so you know you pick up a couple quick ones, you're already behind the 8 ball, and that was a very smart play, but keeping her feet, still getting the block.
Even if you start out getting fouls in like the first couple of minutes of the first quarter, that just takes you mentally out of the game. And right there we have a turnover with Exeter Eagles. 5 seconds, not passing the ball inbounds. Good ball movement from the Springford Rams.
Great
Tiffin
ball movement.
with the 3, and she hits it.
Emily Tiffin with 5 as Springford races out to a 20-0 lead.
Nice tip from Cassie Marty. Shot, but rebounded by Lucy Olson. Great ball movement from Springford, finding the open person. Ball tipped out by the Exeter Eagles. And we do have a substitution for the Exeter Eagles. We have number 13, Tanya Wright, coming back in. In the first quarter, we're already 3 minutes and 30 seconds in, and Springford is up 23-0.
Lucy Olson on fire, 3 threes, 15 points. She's already got her average, and we got 3 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Tanya Wright driving through the lane, and now she's at the foul line.
Sullivan with the foul for the Rams. First teams first. To the line for the Eagles, stay right.
To Jonna Wright at the line.
She hits the first.
She gets the Eagles on the board.
Misses the other. And 1 for Skylar Sullivan.
Beautiful play by the girls as Olson finds Sullivan down the middle, and she uses her left hand beautifully.
That's just a great vision of the court right there.
Springford wins the JV game going away tonight as the JV team moves to 8-1 and 7-0 in the Pioneer Athletic Conference. So congratulations to the JV team.
That's awesome. That's what we love to see. Develop them young so when they become to the varsity stage that they can perform just like these girls here.
Yep, you want to rebuild, or you want to reload, not rebuild, right?
Yep, exactly. Nice tip right there by Cassie Marty. Nice little jumper by Lucy Olson. And another timeout called by our Exeter Eagles.
Full timeout, Norristown.
And we will be right back after this short break.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home. That's when I met Narnice. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back from our short break. We have the Exeter Eagles and Springford Rams. Springford Rams leading 28-1 in the first half with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
You know, I was saying at the break, Ashley, that Lucy Olson might have a school record in her hand already with 17 points here in the first quarter with 2 minutes and change to go.
She might scoring that many points for Springford. It could be a record. On our last basket, we have for the Eagles, Tanya Bird scoring 2 points for the Exeter Eagles.
And I have to have a chat with Coach McDaniel, Coach Reinheimer, some of the old records, but I don't ever recall. I mean, Carolyn Albright still holds a girls' record for 33 points in a game. She's past halfway there and going for more.
Oh, yeah. Nice rebound by Cassie Marty. Lucy Olson to Tiffin. Back out to Ariana, who puts it up and gets her own rebound. Ariana to Hudak. Hudak up, and the bank is open today for 2 for Hudak.
Way to go, sis. That
Yeah.
was nice. Very nice.
We got Exeter Eagles up at the top of the key with the ball. Tiffin, good defense. Norristown gets their rebound and just misses the rim. Nice pump fake by Cassie Marty, who takes a jumper. Rebounded by Ariana.
Nice hustle, both teams. His possession arrow points towards Norristown's way.
Inbounding the ball for the Norristown Eagles is number 40, Brickheim. Springford backed off their press break up to the 50. And we have Tamara Wright passing the ball out of bounds.
Good pressure defense by Cassie Marty out front, and congratulations to Cassie. Along with you today in the paper, I saw that she made her commitment to Lehigh for lacrosse, so
That's awesome.
Congratulations to her. And
It's awesome.
all you girl athletes doing great things here at SF. Great to see.
Oh, yeah. Great to see we have so many people supporting us. Lucy Olson almost closing out the quarter with 2 points. And we will be back right after this short break.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back to Springford versus Norristown game, starting the second half here. Springford Rams leading 30 to Norristown 3 points and 8 minutes on the clock to start. What did you see in the first half, Dave?
Springford just playing great basketball, really getting out running, moving the basketball, getting points off their press, really sharing the basketball, and obviously some hot shooting by Lucy Olson as she lights it up with 17 first quarter points. Could be a school record, first 17 points in a quarter. We've had the opportunity to see Sammy Stippa and so many great girls players through the years. Carolyn Albright, as we mentioned, still holds a scoring record for one game, but never had anybody get 17 and a quarter to my recollection. We'll have to research that one a little bit, but great start by the girls.
Definitely, I couldn't agree more. Great defense here by Ariana Magazzolo. Rest of Springford crashing, but they will send number 13, Tahania, right to the line again to shoot 2 more foul shots.
Bangalore with the foul. Her first, team second to the line for the Eagles is Wright.
Tajana Wright, a freshman, has had a chance to visit with Coach Fisher a little bit before the game, and saying he brings off his young players off the bench, and she is one of them. Is really looking to her for the future to build this program back to its winning ways.
Right, with making her second foul shot. And Norristown giving Springford a little bit of pressure up top. And Wright with the steal, driving to the basket on a fast break and lays it up for 2.
There you can see why Coach Fisher's excited about her and her athletic ability and skills and speed getting down the floor.
Most certainly. Springford swinging the ball. Cassie Marty with the 3 and sinks it, giving her 5 points for this game.
Springford continues the torrid shooting. It's all set up by some really good ball movement, Ashley. Girls are really sharing the ball and making good, accurate passes.
But that's great. You love to see it. Hudak going up. And like I said, the bank is open tonight, right off the backboard.
Nice play, nice dish by Megan Moore, and Haley finishing things off, hustling down the floor.
Most certainly. We got a 3 from number 22, Ashley Schools, but couldn't seem to finish it. But we got Wright with the steal, passing it, and an and 1 for number 1, Saya Evans, sending her to the line.
Cy Evans there in the scoring column, and another one of the young freshmen that the Eagles feel has a chance to really show some promise.
And we have Abby Boyer checking in for the Springford Rams. Evans missed her foul shot. Springford, good ball movement around the arc, looking to try and get it in. Magazzolo for 3, hits off the rim. Hudak with the rebound and up. And Ariana grabs that rebound and is sent to the line to take 2 foul shots.
Nice job by Ariana as she took the 3-pointer from out top and still went to the glass. You like the effort and energy.
Yep. just rebounds are critical. If you get your offensive or defensive rebound, it just helps out in the long run. And Magazzolo making her first.
Renee Daniels in for the Eagles.
Magazzolo making both of her foul throws.
Coaches like reliable foul shooters, people they can trust late in the game with making some big free throws. And
for sure, foul throws are definitely a critical point in basketball games. Even when it's close game, neck to neck the whole game, those foul shots can make the difference between a win and a loss. Ball tipped out by Springford Rams, and Norristown will inbound it underneath their basket. Springford bringing the ball down, pass it to Allison Droney, who takes the three and just misses the basket. Abby Boyer with the steal right there. And was tipped. She thought it was her ball, but let it go out of bounds, and unfortunately it wasn't her call.
You know what I like about her in that situation is she may disagree with the call, but not letting it affecting her, get right into her defensive stance, ready to guard someone, and that's what you have to be. You can't be standing there arguing with the officials. You're not going to get them to change the call, so you might as well stay focused and stay in the moment.
Yeah, for sure. Abby Boyer keeping that ball in there, dishing it out to Allison Droney. Nice ball movement, but definitely a nice tip by number 40, Brookheim over there, saving Norristown from another 2 points on the board for Springford Rams.
Yeah, nice rotation over by Brookheim. She blocked it. Brook is their second leading scorer. Nice.
Oh, nice post up.
Beautiful.
All right. Might have to buy her an ice cream tonight now.
Beautiful up and under move, textbook up and under move, and those coaches that work with her before practice, in the pre-practice, post-move stuff, boy, they're happy with that. That's great to see.
That is great basketball right there. And a nice tip right there by Gabs Alcindroni, who presses the ball up the court, dishes it out to Megan Moore, who finishes it for 2 points.
Girls out and running, and Megan Moore in the books.
You love to see. You just see a great variety of girls who are clocking their minutes in this game, scoring some buckets, and it's good to see that Springford just has a reliable team. It's not just the starters and the subs. It's everybody on the team makes an impact.
Yeah, one of the I think the strengths that Coach McDaniel and his staff have had over the last several years, for many years actually, going back even to Coach Reinheimer, is they've always had great depth, and they've used that depth to win games, wear teams out, and also it's a great way to get some young players some experience, and then as we were talking earlier, the ability to reload. When you lose some seniors, you're not rebuilding, you're reloading. These girls coming off the bench have some experience. They've played in some big moments in some games, and they're battle tested and ready to be a primetime performer.
For sure. Ariana Magazzolo fouled to the line and makes her first foul shot. And for our Springford Rams, we have number 12, Kylie Puffko, checking in. We have number 21, Lexa Fisher, checking in. And we have Skylar Sullivan going to check in. Magazzolo makes her second foul shot, which sends her out to the bench, and Skylar Sullivan into the game.
Wholesale changes.
That will not be a problem for the Springford Rams to adapt. Good defense by the Springford Rams. Lexa Fisher recovers the loose ball. Nice pump fake and drive. Foul right here by number 20 on Norristown, Tanya Bird. Springford inbounding the ball underneath their basket.
Springford does a nice job of running inbounds underneath plays. Let's see how they do here. Norristown, nice job there defending inside.
Tanya Bird right there with the interception. We have number 10, Emily Schools, working the ball up top, cutting. Norristown, nothing was open. They keep passing the ball around the arc. Takes the shot, just misses, while Megan Moore recovers the rebound. Oh, good try by Kylie Puffko. And we have a charge on number 13, right? Megan Moore took the foul on that one like a champ.
Nice job, Megan Moore, stepping in after all that she's been through, a couple years of injuries. Great to see her toughness displayed right there by stepping in and taking a charge.
Great to see her coming back too, not letting one injury just define who she is. She came back, she put in the hard work, and look where she is today.
Very, very impressive, coming back from two difficult injuries.
And we have another Norristown foul. Looks like their team fouls add up to about 7, I guess now. Sending them, nope, yep, 7.
Yes, you're
sending
correct.
them to one-on-one.
Yes, yep. Good call, Ashley, as the official out by the scoring table. Puts out the one-on-one sign, so.
They'll send Abby Boyer to the line. Abby making her first for the Rams.
Big week for Springford as after tonight, they have Phoenixville at home on Thursday, and then they travel on Saturday up the Turnpike to face perennial state power Cumberland Valley. So big week, and the Rams want to polish things up and get ready for that big battle on Saturday.
Let's hope they keep up this good work. If they keep working like this, there's no stopping them. Springford Rams transitioning from man-to-man into a zone, but Emily Wright scores a 3, no problem.
Yeah, Schools with their first 3, and she has been their leading scorer. Nice jump shot from beyond.
Good defense by the Eagles. Springford working their way around the arc. Dishing it out to Boyer, who does a pump fake, drives, uses the backboard, and gets 2 points.
Nice take, Abby Boyer. Had her eyes up the whole way on the drive, saw what was going on in the defense, and soft off the window.
She was confident too, like there was no hesitation. She knew what she was doing and just took the opportunity and made the 2 points.
Very good observation there, Ashley.
Jump ball. Norristown Eagles will inbound it. Almost there. Abby Boyer with the tip.
Springford playing a little 2-3 zone here, trying to match up out of it.
They can play a zone, a man-to-man, a 1-3-1, whatever they need to do, and they still look good doing it. They work together as a team, and you can tell by all the hours they put in practice that it definitely pays off in the games. Another 3 by sister Ashley Schools.
So from Emily Schools to Ashley Schools, as the Schools sisters with a couple of 3 balls.
Yeah. And another one hits the rim but doesn't sink. We're down here in the last 20 seconds. Rams leading 47-14. Kylie Puffko taking a 3, but rebounded by Lexa Fisher, which is blocked. Norristown trying to get in that final 2 points in the last 10 seconds, but the pressure from the Springford Rams down the court caused turnover.
All right, 11.1. Let's see what they can get done here before halftime.
Tipped out by the Norristown Eagles, and Springford will inbound it underneath their basket. 7.2 seconds left.
Sullivan will inbound. She's doing a little equipment shoelace repair, tying, whatever you want to call it.
Springford does not need any more injuries.
Nice.
Kylie Puffko open, who takes the shot and just misses it. Rebounds the ball, takes the shot, and that concludes the second quarter. Springford Rams leading 47, while Norristown has 14 points. We'll be back right before the third quarter begins.
Everybody, welcome to RCTV's halftime coverage. I'm Bill Culp. Along, Dave Pence made it tonight. He didn't leave me with the laptop. He's back, so it's good to see him here in the studio. All right, Dave, talking about the first half, and right off the bat, we kind of knew, expecting, with Springford just smacking. Dave kind of put it in a nice way. Coach Caldwell there in that first game, really handing it to Norristown that first game, and they came out on fire.
Yeah, absolutely. That, like you said, the first game against Norristown was a real lopsided victory. And to come out, they came out in a zone press, went man-to-man. They forced, in that first quarter alone, they jumped out to a 30-3 lead. So their offense was clicking, and also they forced 8 turnovers and had 5 steals. And Lucy Olson led all scorers with 17. So even at halftime, she's beating Norristown single-handedly by a score of 17-14.
Yeah, and those 17 came real easy for Olson there, Dave, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. The great ball movement. They were able to skip past, move the ball around the perimeter and find real open, wide open, easy shots. And Lucy Olson, moving well without the ball, as well as her teammates, being able to dish the ball to her. Tiffin contributed 5. That's just what Coach McDaniel wanted them to do. Come out and really give Norristown no hope from the jump. And, that's what they did. And it was a great first quarter by the Rams.
Yeah, they definitely, as you mentioned, Coach Caldwell was talking about Olson putting up that amazing 17. It probably is a record for the quarter, and he was saying 33 is the all-time high for girls in a game. Olson's probably not going to touch that because she's not going to see enough minutes probably in this game.
Yeah, I think at this point she'll probably be, the #1 cheerleader on the bench. They got some big games coming up. They have Phoenixville Thursday night, who's 4-3 in the Frontier Division, so it's a big crossover game. Also, like Caldwell said, that they travel to Cumberland Valley, which is a perennial Pennsylvania power, and they need everybody fresh. And also, they also talked about experience, getting other girls in there and getting that experience. They're the ones that are going to be moving up next year and playing significant roles in the future for the Rams.
Yeah, and you talk about that, and you beautiful segue. You gave me a beautiful segue there, Dave, with that bench, and you mentioned that with Boyer, Hudak, and Moore coming in and giving them points right off the bench, a little over 10 points right off the bench. So, as you mentioned, with these games coming up, and again, looking at my schedule here, 5 out of the next 6 games are divisional, 9 out of the next 12. It's so important that Coach McDaniel get these girls that experience, those girls off the bench who usually aren't seeing those regular minutes, but see live action and run that offense.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only does it help them in the future, get them experience, but it also helps their practice time. You think about it. Who are our starters going against? They're going against those girls that are coming in off the bench in this game. So it produces a competitive atmosphere of practices and keeps it up-tempo, and that's what Springford likes. They like that up-tempo, press, style, forcing turnovers, and this kind of gets everybody involved, gets them in the game flow, and increases that production at practice.
Yeah, and as you said, going into that second quarter, we want to say a drop off because they dropped 30 on them in the first quarter, and they only got 17 in the second quarter. So again, outscoring Norristown, but Norristown came back a little bit there. with the score in the second quarter, 17-11. So what did they do there? What adjustments do you think that you saw?
So in Norristown, it looked like they just passed the ball a little bit. They took care of the ball, but also I think Springford came back off that press and enabled them to get to their half-court offense. But you, as a coach, you need to back off. Coach McDaniel did the right thing there. But hey, you need to play good half-court defense, whether you're a starter or not a starter. And I'm sure Coach McDaniel is going to be encourage them to play hard. I'm sure he's not happy giving up 11 points in that second quarter. And let's face it, we have to critique and be critical at times and keep everybody motivated. And I'm sure that's what Coach McDaniel's doing right now.
Yeah, going back to your point now, we were talking outside the studio here, we're watching the game, and I mentioned to you, maybe Coach McDaniel's thought, though, is not take that gas off the pedal, because the running clock kind of rule with that. So, pressing, trying to get up, we believe, looking up that it's 40 points in the third quarter, and then running clock if it's still 30 in the fourth quarter. So maybe Coach McDaniel comes out in that second half and against your will there, your ethics, and maybe presses a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the running clock, yeah, it's a good thing, but I don't think as a coach you play for that, because at this point you're going to have some girls in there that want some playing time, and it's important to them. And I think it's also important to Coach McDaniel. So that running clock I don't think's an issue. Although you do want to see them play well. If they play well, they will hit that point threshold where that clock's going to continue to run. And it's something new that's implemented this year, and it might come into play.
Yeah, definitely. And like we said, after that first quarter, I mean, it was just all, we didn't think Norristown almost wasn't going to score there. It was like you and I playing cornhole or cam jam against some of these novices out there. We just shut them out. We go over a little bit. But looking into the second half, again, what's your expectation? Do you expect to see a lot of the, Coach McDaniel basically unloading his bench there and getting a lot of these girls some time?
I'm sure Coach McDaniel's just telling them, look, you're going to get some playing time, but let's keep control of the basketball. Let's not be sloppy. Hit the open person, make that extra pass, look for an open shot, but take care of the basketball. Let's not let this game get sloppy and get out of hand and get into an uncharacteristic play of it being sloppy. And that kind of sets the tone for the next game as well. When the starters will see that people behind them are playing well, it makes the whole team better.
Yeah, and you mentioned that, and not playing sloppy, with Springford only having 2 turnovers in that first half, while Norristown had a whopping 11. And basically those 11 turnovers, Dave, and I don't have the stats here, but of those 11 turnovers, Springford basically probably turned those into, I would say, 15 to 20 points.
Yeah, absolutely. It came from easy transition buckets, and that's Springford's MO. That's what they're all about. Their offense starts with their defense, and that's certainly how that game started. And everybody on that starting 5, they did an outstanding job to start this game. And I expect the trend to continue. Like you said, Springford has a lot of conference games coming up. They are, Coach Caldwell said it in the first quarter that Springford's ranked 4th in the district, and they want to keep improving on that. And then to improve on that, you have to beat the teams in your conference and within your district. Now, Cumberland Valley is District 3, but anyway, that will go a long way when you're playing quality teams. And Springford has played quality teams. Their only 2 losses have come from teams that aren't even in the state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, coming up against Phoenixville, Pottstown, Methacton, Boyertown, Owen-J. Roberts, and they really don't see anybody away from home, or out of conference until Upper Marion. So, like you said, how important is it basically to hit their stride?
Yeah, you need to. There's a couple games here that you look at the opposing team's record, not real strong. A couple games coming up. We said Owen-J, they're 6-1. Boyertown, they're 4-2, and they're going to give Springford a test. So they need to continue to play good basketball, good fundamentally sound, take care of the basketball, and the wins will come for the Springford Rams.
All right, well, let's see if a win comes in that second half. I'm pretty much sure, Dave, if I'm a betting man, they are going to do that.
It's a lock.
It's a lock. So you heard it here from Dave. We're going to turn it back up top for second half action. We'll see you post-game in RCTV studio.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back from our halftime show. I'm Ashley Hudak here with Dave Caldwell, and we have the Springford Rams leading 47-14 going into the third quarter. Exeter Eagles starting out in a 2-3 zone. Springford having a turnover, but Gabs Alessandroni tips the ball and recovers it.
Love the hustle. She made a bad pass and then just really determined and hustled back and made the steal, got it right back. So good stuff there by Alessandroni.
Lucy Olsen with the 3, and she sinks it.
Lucy Olsen, good for 3.
Lucy Olsen now with 20. She only played the first quarter, first possession here in quarter number 3. She buries it.
Springford's just got the hot hands tonight. Nice pass up for Cassie Marty, laying it off the backboard for 2 for the Rams.
Marty now with 7, and Springford picking up where they left off, out and running. Pressure defense, converting those turnovers.
Timeout called by the
30-second
Eagles.
timeout.
And we'll be right back after this short commercial.
Hi, I'm Peter, and there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in, help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit savethefood.com.
We're back from a short break, 1 minute into the third quarter, and we had a nice 3 from Lucy Olsen, and Exeter Eagles will inbound it.
Springford jumps out 5-0 here to start the third quarter.
High pressure over here by Gabs Alessandroni. Trying to create a double team in the corners of the court, catching them out of bounds or backcourt.
Again, Coach McDaniel saying they're going to try some different defenses, try a little half-court trapping defense here to start off the possession.
For sure. You definitely want to try different things, see what works best for you and the team, and what's going to make you most successful. And Skylar Sullivan there called for the foul, sending Evans to the line to take 2 foul shots.
Interesting, we mentioned Lucy Olsen already with 20 points. I have her unofficially this season as it coming off a season high 25 against PV over this past weekend. So
That's
she's
great.
She's on pace here to break that. And again, she might not have an opportunity to go after the school record tonight, but she's only a sophomore. A lot of opportunities left for that young lady to potentially break the school record in scoring in one game.
For sure. Evans did make both her foul shots down there, but when she recovered on defense, she did foul Lucy Olsen. And here we have Ariana Magazzola checking in, Abby Boyer checking in, and Haley Hudak checking in for the Rams.
So the three leading scorers headed back to the bench already after a minute and 41 seconds. Don't know if we'll see them again or not tonight.
For sure. But hey, everybody on the court, they're still proving their skills, taking their shots, passing the ball around, just playing great basketball.
No question about it, Ashley. We got to keep doing. Keep developing, keep improving. Coach McDaniel talked about having each player improve 1% every day as he takes a timeout, and it's going to be a 30-second timeout.
All right, and with that timeout, we will take a short break.
Oh, look, a redhead.
Staring contest.
You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
They were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back from this short timeout. Springford Rams did inbound the ball and take a shot, which was rebounded by Evans on the Norristown team. Great defense by Springford over here, not letting the ball be passed. Kayla Hudak with the rebound. Quick outlet to Abby Boyer, who is fouled by number 10, Schools.
Fouls on Emily Schools. Her first.
Springford Magazzolo bringing the ball down for the Rams. Quick passes by the Springford Rams, making the Eagles work. Nice rebound by Hudak, who passes it and is fouled in the process.
Like to see the girls on the offensive glass giving themselves second and third chances. You know, while we have a little break in the action, and another one of our friends here at Springford girls basketball, Abby Goodrich, got to congratulate her too as well, announcing that she will attend Kutztown University. I know she verbally committed some time ago, but it was in the Pottstown Mercury today, so congratulations to her as she continues to make her way back, getting ready for her knee surgery next week and rehab, and wish her the best as well. But congratulations to her, and you, Ashley, at York, and Cassie going to Lehigh for lacrosse.
It's great just to see everybody go to school for different sports. It just shows hard work and great athletes Springford has developed throughout these 4 years in their high school career. And we have Schools with the ball up top. Schools with the three, just hits the rim and misses. Norristown trying to high press. Springford passing the ball around. And a turnover. We have Wright bringing down the ball and some half-court pressure up here by Moore. Ball is missed and will be inbounded by the Springford Rams. Last time Springford played Norristown, they gave them a good run for their money. They beat them 74-13. Definitely shows Norristown has come out with more fire this time, scoring 16 points and still leaving them another quarter to score points, whereas Springford is still coming out, using their fire and just getting those buckets like they do.
Yeah, no question about it. Norristown is improving. We mentioned Coach Fisher talking about his young freshman group that he brings off the bench that brings some promise for him down the road, and both teams playing hard.
For sure. And that foul is on Hudak, and Heim does make it and sends her to the line to shoot one foul shot.
Brooke Heim just finally getting in the book. Tough night for her going against the Springford interior defense.
Oh, yeah. And we got Fisher checking in for the Rams. Ball is rebounded by Hudak, quickly passed up the court. And we do have a walk on Springford.
Springford looking for their 5th win in a row as they started the win streak of the last game out at the Nike Invitational. Then they came home and they won at Pottsgrove 55-37 and then beat a new improved Owen J. Roberts team 55-47, and then over the weekend beat Perkiomen Valley 58-33. So looking for 5 in a row here.
Great work by Springford, though. Definitely knocking OJR off their undefeated streak of 8-0, making them 8-1 since the last time Springford had played them.
I think there's a high probability that O&J and Springford could see each other again in the postseason.
For sure. If both teams keep playing like they're playing, I wouldn't doubt it. Fisher taking the 3 and hits the rim. Doesn't quite sink it. Norristown trying to make a quick transition up the court. School for the 3. Takes it but doesn't score it either. Maizolo taking it to the basket and is sent to the line to take 2 foul shots.
Nice take there as she made the commitment to taking it hard to the basket and committed to get the foul. I like that she didn't avoid the contact. You see so many high school players that sometimes they drive the lane but avoid the contact. You want to take on the contact. Guarantee that you get to the foul line and possibly have a chance to make that old-fashioned 3-point play.
For sure. Taking that contact like a champ, sending yourself to the foul line could mean an easy 2 points for you.
Macazola continues her excellence from the stripe. I don't want to put the jinx on her and say something else. Good.
And that leaves her 6 for 6 from the foul line.
Yeah, I didn't want to put the announcer's jinx on it, right?
See that sometimes in sports, but you caught yourself.
Put the jinx on too many people through the years, Ashley.
Oh, yeah. I've jinxed myself a couple times, too. But it's okay. Eagles will inbound the ball from the sign due to a foul. And we got a lob pass. Schools was fouled, sent it to the line for 2. Right now we have 2 minutes, 13 seconds remaining. Rams have 56 points and the Eagles have 18 points. Let's see if she can make both her foul shots. And we have 1.
Schools now, I have her with 4. Make it
5.
5.
As you can see, foul shots are critical, whether, like I said before, they can make a difference in a game or just add points to your score. Quick ball movement by Springford, holding the ball for less than a couple seconds. Megan Moore with a 3.
High arcing
Hits
shot.
the rim. Good rebound with Hudak. Megan taking it back in. And is sent to the line for 2. Did miss her basket, but she will definitely recover those at the foul line here.
Nice job by the girls as every girl on the team touched the ball that possession. They got a second shot. And Megan, chance to do some more damage from the stripe.
Making her first. What I love about Springford's basketball is you see the quick passes and just they're unselfish. They pass the ball, they do what's best for the team, and they continue doing that.
Always been a strength. Springford girls basketball is team play, sharing the basketball.
For sure. Helping each other out when they're being picked and they roll on the girl if they can't get to it. And we got Fisher bring the ball down for the Rams. Puffco taking a 3. Just missed the basket, but hey, great defense. Hudak with the rebound and was fouled, sending her to the line to take 2.
Nice hands by Magazzola as she deflected that pass, and Haley's a beneficiary, and she will go to the stripe. You know, the other thing too, I always used to tell my players when I was coaching the boys team, Ashley, was that, you know, these games like this for the players off the bench who are getting extended minutes, that's their opportunity to show the coaching staff what they do, just not in practice but in the game, and a chance for you to display your talents and your abilities and carry out what the coaches want to possibly, you know, get yourself some more minutes here as the season goes along. So
for sure, that's what you want to do, prove that you're worthy to get your minutes on the court when in game time. Hudak making both her foul shots, leaving her with 8 points. And grabbing that rebound, dishing it out to Magazzola, who brings it down the court. Bringing it down to the corner. Taking a little jumper. Hudak rebounds it, puts it up for another 2.
great work by Haley inside, always looking for opportunities to score, and nothing better than hitting the offensive glass every possession.
For sure, that's just the objective of the power forward too, get all those missed rebounds and just put it back up and either get the points in the foul or get the foul or get an and one.
Stay hungry. Always tell young players that.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of young players sometimes will complain they're not getting the ball and chance they can't score, no one gets them the ball, and it's like, go to the offensive glass, be hungry.
For sure. And we do have Abby Boyer and Gabs Alessandroni checking in for the Rams. Closing out the third quarter here, our last 5 seconds. Eagles do not get off the last shot. And we will be back in the fourth quarter for more basketball.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back from our third quarter, transitioning into the fourth. Rams leading 61-20, and Megan Moore inbounding the ball for the Spring Ford Rams.
Another big quarter by the Rams as they extend the lead with a 14-6 third quarter.
For sure. Norristown staying comfortable in their 2-3 zone. Spring Ford running some plays. See if they can get them to work. Lexa Fisher with the 3. Just misses.
Some nice screens against the zone.
Quick movement from the Eagles up the court. Try and beat Spring Ford's press. And we have Lexa Fisher playing good defense on Evans.
Very nice job down on the block. Got her hands up, moving her feet.
Didn't reach, but did reach that time. Fisher was called for the foul, sending number 13 right to the line to take 2 foul shots for the Eagles.
You know, another thing I know Coach McDaniel and the staff has got to be pleased with is the non-fouling by the Rams. They're moving their feet. You know, in the first half, Norristown did not get in the bonus because they moved their feet, didn't get in foul trouble. And again, now here we are in the fourth quarter, and they only have 5 team fouls. And they don't shoot a 1-on-1 until the 7th team foul. So nice work by the ladies defensively, moving their feet.
For sure. Springford picking up the rebound from the missed foul shot down there. Abby Boyer with the 3. Does go a little wide, but Megan Moore does recover the ball. Gabs driving it to the hoop, getting her own. Nope, Lexa Fisher grabs the ball. Still swinging it around. And we have Heim blocking the shot on that. Springford pass the ball around the perimeter over out here.
You know, sometimes when coaching staffs have big leads like this, they'll say, hey, we're not going to shoot any outside shots. We're going to move the ball, and we're going to get a layup or, you know, a wide open shot inside. That's going to be their goal, and that's what the girls are doing right now, trying to move the ball and look inside.
Moving the ball quick, looking at the basket, dribble and drive, but does not finish it. And Moore is caught with a foul offensively.
Probably a little frustration foul. She's disappointed she missed that inside shot, but
for sure. Sending both teams to have team fouls of 6. Checking in for the Rams, we have Ariana Magazzolo and Haley Hudak. Got a little look from her there. She knows I'm calling out her name.
Tell you what, she's probably going to be looking for that ice cream. I don't want to put any pressure on you, but I heard you say it publicly.
I'll
it's
tell her
chiseled in granite, Ash.
You're right. I might surprise her. We'll see. We'll see what I got in my wallet tonight.
Evans to the line for the Eagles.
We do have a foul there, sending the Eagles into 1-1. Evans not making it, but did get her rebound. Jump ball between Puffco and Wright, and the ball does remain to the Eagles. Good defense from Springford, preventing that inbound play and recovering the ball. Ooh. Kylie Puffco with a little slip, but it's okay. She's still smiling.
She is smiling. She's backpedaling and just lost her feet. You got to laugh sometimes in these games.
You do. Good laugh once in a while never hurt anybody. Good defense by Boyer, not reaching for the ball whatsoever, just staying in her position. Kylie Puffco given to Haley, who does miss the layup but does recover the rebound.
Nice.
Passing it out to Kylie, who puts it up for 2.
There you go. Nice work on the interior by Hudak, and Puffco happy to get in the book.
And we do have a timeout called by the Eagles. And we'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason. Because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
We are back. Dave Caldwell along with Ashley Hudak here, quarter number 4, Norristown, Springford. And Ashley, congratulations. You've A lot of people not sure if they know this, but your first voyage as the play-by-play here. You've done a great job. Congratulations here on RCTV.
Thank you.
Time to do some credits.
It's been so much fun, and a big thank you to our camera people, Dana Reed, Connor Godfrey, Nolan Schweitzer, our director, Nick Elsner, and we also have Brandon Bartolotta, Andrew Rothermill, and Cheryl Merja working the crew tonight. And with that, we have Kylie Puffko scoring a 3-pointer for the Rams, putting them at 66 points.
Yep, we have a great crew here again tonight. Appreciate all the hard work, dedication they do for RCTV and making us look good.
They do make us look good. Nice tip over here by Lexa Fisher. Eagles do rebound it.
We also can't forget Cheryl Merja back here doing some work for us as
cannot.
well. We cannot forget Dr. Merja, the legend, keeping us in line up here in the booth.
For sure. We do have a whole new team for the Exeter Eagles out here. Everybody on the court is new. Springford still passing the ball around the arc, looking for that easy layup. Lexa Fisher driving it, but does lose it in the process. Almost recovered, but not quite. Springford bench getting a little rowdy over there, cheering for their team. And we do have a foul. Kylie Puffko sending number 2, Rochelle Belmont, to the line.
Her first. To the line for the Eagles, Rosie Belmont.
She does make her first.
Another young freshman for Coach Fisher.
And makes her second. Good 2-3 defense by the Eagles. We have 1:20 left here on the clock. Rams leading 66-22. Kylie taking in the lane for another 2 points.
Puffko having a big night here now with unofficially with 7. Springford freshmen showing a little prowess just like the Norristown freshmen.
For sure. And we got a 3.
Good for Diane Bird.
Bird now with 5 for the Eagles as we wind down the last 34 seconds. It'll be Springford win number 9 and win number 5 in a row. As we mentioned, a big week. Thursday, Phoenixville at home, and then Saturday, that big clash up at Cumberland Valley.
Springford trying to seal the deal over here and not let the Eagles score any more points in our last 5 seconds. Boyer with the tip, going up for the layup, and makes it for the Springford Rams. And that's it for the fourth quarter. The Rams lead 70, while the Exeter Eagles lead 25. And we'll send it up to Dave Pence and Bill Colt to finish out the show for us.
Hey everybody, welcome back to our studio and RCTV studio right here. This is Postgame here, along with Dave Pence. I'm Bill Colpin. Dave, talk about the second half. Really wasn't that much different again. Springford kind of taking the pedal off a little bit there, not scoring as much as the game ended 68-25. So they only scored 21 points in the second half. But why do you think that tonight?
Well,
you had a lot of people don't have a lot of playing experience, but Coach McDaniel still had his starters come out to start that second half. They played about a minute or two, and they came out rocking. He probably wanted to see how they were to respond, and they did well. The starters came out. Lucy Olson added another 3. Cassie Marty added another 2 there in the second half. But they kind of took their throttle off, but they were also very patient offensively. You can see they were working the ball right in the perimeter several times. Everybody touched the ball before they got a shot off. So you can tell they were working on their outside passing game, passing the ball around, looking for open shots. So I think that's why the offense sputtered. I shouldn't say sputtered, but wasn't as efficient, scoring a lot of points there in the second half.
Yeah, I agree. And as you mentioned there, Olsen, we said she scored 17 in the first half, only 3 in the second. I mean, we're only playing probably about a minute in that second half. So she's getting some rest there as the games come up. And for Norristown, joking aside in a sense, they cut down the turnovers, but really didn't benefit them that much. But why did they cut down the turnovers? We were talking about that outside.
Yeah, they backed off the press. I mean, Springford just kind of sat back behind the arc, let them bring it up, no pressure whatsoever. But they were still pressuring them inside that defensive, half-court set. Defensively, Springford was solid all night. Give it to the girls coming off the bench that got some playing time. Sullivan had some point. We had Boyer. Hudak played outstanding. She ended up with 10 points. Puffco, she got a 3-ball there in the fourth quarter. So it was nice to see that some girls usually don't get a lot of playing time, got some playing time and contributing, got their name in that line score.
Yeah, I was saying outside there, Norristown, joking aside, kind of making fun of it, the turnovers didn't happen in the second half because they just started hoisting up threes. Just complete opposite of what Springford did. And as you said, it seemed like Coach McDaniel wanted to see Springford, those substitutes, those girls not getting those minutes, run the offense and a sufficient offense, because usually, Springford, Coach Merton talking to him previous game, they usually come out pretty cold, and they were hot in that first half. And so the second half, they weren't shooting as many threes, where they tend to shoot a lot more threes in the second half. But it looked like they were just trying to get easy buckets in the second half.
Yeah, and it was good. Just good ball movement, good overall offensive team play. And, the Springford now, they just look beyond now. They look, what's coming up on their schedule. We know they have some conference games coming up. Cumberland Valley. They need to secure the number 1 seed overall, get that first round bye in the PAC playoffs. And again, they're 4th in the district. They want to continue to rise and see if they can get that 1 or 2 seed and have a lot of home games in the district. And obviously their eyes are beyond districts and get good seedings in the state playoffs as well. So they got a lot to shoot for. They got a lot of good games coming up, a lot of good basketball, and RCTV will be there and have a lot of coverage of girls basketball moving forward.
I'm sure they will. And we talked about, like you mentioned, the schedule coming up. Really, it's sort of a down year in the sense of the conference this year. I mean, Springford should walk away with this pretty easily. But, their Methacton matchup is coming up next Thursday. And Methacton, they only defeated Methacton basically by 5. Basically, everybody else in the division, they thwarted by double figures easily.
So Methacton, an average of 18 points a game. Besides that Methacton game, they've been thumping people pretty good.
Yeah, they really have.
Playing Norristown has inflated those numbers even more. But they still got some tough games ahead, and Coach McDaniel, he's not gonna think if anything's gonna be easy, and he's gonna push those girls at practice, and we're gonna see some good things from this team in the future for sure.
Yeah, and one of the things we talk about off camera and things like that is the girls really have some offensive scores. We'd like to see, and you see them putting up some numbers. 68 tonight. They put up 70 a couple times in those 60s. They're capable, if released, to put up 80 plus points. I mean, they can flat out score. They got some girls that can go one-on-one. I know Coach McDaniel likes that defensive end, but wouldn't you just like to see him take a little bit of gas off that defense and let the girls play a little bit?
Yeah, they do. They have some girls that can probably take anybody to the rack at any time. Lucy Olson, Tiffin, Cassie Marty can really shoot from the outside. They can penetrate, skip it out, and somebody's going to be open for an open look. And hopefully we'll see some more of that in the future.
Hopefully we will. But we thank you for joining us tonight. RCTV's coverage as the Springford Ram girls defeat real badly tonight, 68-25, those Norristown Eagles. So make sure you stay with us when we come back, and we hopefully next week in our next edition of RCTV coverage. Have a good night, everybody. Along with Dave Pence, Bill Colt, we'll see you soon.